Hey guys, Lauren Billings, Senior Gold Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. A couple of months ago, I had my 1 year Plexus anniversary. This past year has been amazing. I have grown so much as a person. I've learned so much about this industry and so much about how great of a company Plexus is. I've developed so many wonderful relationships. But over this past couple of months, I've been given a little bit of thought to things that I might have done differently, or things that I wish I knew earlier on in my journey. So I thought it might be helpful to share a couple of those with you who might be a little bit newer to this, and maybe you can avoid some of the mistakes that I made. One of the biggest things that I did early on that I wish I had not done was compare myself to others. I looked around and I saw so many people who were shooting to the top, who were making it to emerald and even diamond in less than a year. And I thought that that was the way it had to be done and that that was the norm. I later learned that it wasn't, but I think I lost so much joy early on from holding myself to that standard and thinking that my journey had to look like everybody else's. I've since learned that God has a special plan for me. He has put me in this specific time and place to be a light for Him, to carry out His purposes. And more than anything, that's what I want to do. So if that means that this is going to take me a little bit longer, then so be it. It's going to be okay. I recently heard Ashley Stewart share her story about sponsoring Rhonda Shaw and Rhonda sponsoring Bridget Ryan, and then the two of them getting to Diamond when Ashley was at Emerald. And she just has such a beautiful story of really trusting God and His plan. And she talks about how she's able to be an encouragement to some other team members who might feel stuck, whereas Rhonda and Bridget can't do that. And she knows without a shadow of a doubt that there's a purpose to her journey, and I want that. So don't compare yourself to others. Put your blinders on, do what you know to do, and know that God has a perfect plan for you. And don't be hard on yourself. That's something that I struggled with too. It kind of goes along with comparing yourself to others. But know that you're not going to get everything right 100% of the time. This is a process. If you're like me, you've never done anything like this before. And so it takes time to learn the ropes and develop those skills. So give yourself some grace. Don't take things personally. If people tell you no, or if they ignore you, it's okay. It's not about you. They're not refusing you. Maybe the timing's just not good for them. But don't take it personally, and don't let it ruin friendships. Don't assume that those people don't like you anymore because they didn't respond to your Facebook message. Just know that what we have is a gift, and this company and this compensation plan is a blessing. And if we are just trying to share that with others with good intentions, then we don't have anything to worry about. We don't have to take it personally when people say it's not for them. I love the analogy about the waitress in the coffee shop. If she comes around and offers you a refill on your coffee and you say no, is she offended? Of course not. She'll just walk right to the next person and ask them if they'd like a refill. So keep that in mind as you go, and don't let some no's or some not right now's or some total not responses ruin your day. Don't buy into everybody else's ideas or try to be like everybody else. I watch a ton of videos, and that's a good thing. But sometimes I find myself jumping from one thing to the next, thinking this is going to be my ticket. This is what's going to really put my business on the next level. This is really going to help me grow my team. And I don't really take the time to sit and think, what do I think is best? I know the people that are on my team. And why don't I try to figure out what I think we need to do as a team, or what strategies I think will work best. I have fallen into the trap of just jumping on the bandwagon with whatever diamond secret somebody shares, and that's not good. That'll keep you jumping around. You need to develop some consistency. Get with your level 1s and 2s and your strong leaders, and figure out what works for your team. It's always great to watch training videos, and you can take those ideas and adapt them to what fits you. But you can't take them like a cookie cutter and try to implement everything that you hear. Don't be scared to reach out. And when you do reach out, don't be apologetic. Early on, I didn't want to message anybody. I just thought everybody was going to come to me, and I learned pretty quickly that that wasn't going to cut it. And then when I did start to message people, I think I anticipated somebody making fun of me or something, and so I would almost laugh at myself in the message that I was doing something crazy like this. But I got to thinking about that, and I was like, I don't want to paint that kind of picture for people that I'm reaching out to. So be confident, be bold. Like I said earlier, know what you have is a gift and a blessing, and have that kind of persona when you reach out. Another thing that I would say don't do is do not work yourself to death. It's great to set aside business hours. I know a lot of people are implementing what they call a power hour, where they just spend 1 full hour a day working on their business, maybe 5 days a week, and that's great. I fell into the trap of working every spare minute with Plexus. And I'm kind of in a position where I can do that. I don't have any children yet. My husband is very understanding, and he likes to have TV time at night, so it doesn't really bother him unless I'm trying to do a Zoom call and making him turn the TV down. But I've realized that it's not good for me, and even if he is not saying anything to me about working too much, I think he does realize it. So I've tried to get better about setting those hours, putting in a little bit of time each day, but not overdoing it, because I definitely don't want to burn out. I want to be able to do this for the long haul. And lastly, don't doubt yourself. I think I realized, actually not long ago, that I have a lot of belief in this company, have a lot of belief in the industry. I believe that anyone could do this, but I didn't necessarily believe that I could do this. I kind of had to come to terms with that and realize that I wasn't really putting my money where my mouth was. I was trying to encourage others, and I sincerely do believe that anybody could do it, but for some reason it wasn't connecting in my head that I could actually make this happen. It was more like a hope or a wish, instead of a dream that I knew was going to come true. So I have finally just decided that no matter what comes my way, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to have the belief. I'm going to pray through it, and I'm going to get there. So those are kind of my list of struggles or things that I wish I would have done differently. Then I've also got some things that I did do that I think are great, and I think that they'll help you along the way if you implement them too. One thing is take it seriously. I kind of have to find a balance between working hard and not working too hard. I heard somebody say one time, we need to be good stewards of this opportunity, and I think that is so true. I don't know about you, but I feel like God has placed Plexus in my path. It's not something that I would have ever done. Looking back, I honestly still cannot believe that I ever got started, but I'm so thankful that I did. So take it seriously. Put the work in. If you work it like a hobby, you'll get paid like a hobby. If you work it like a business, you'll get paid like a business. So it's great to take it seriously and work hard, but also set those limits. Also, be a product of the product. You cannot sell or share something that you haven't personally experienced. So I think it's great to try as many products as you can. Have a personal experience so you can share it with others. Also, on the same note, you have to make sure that your social media, the things that you say to people, the things that you do in front of other people align with your business. So if you are promoting Plexus on your Facebook, but you're also taking a bunch of pictures of you drinking sodas and eating a bunch of junk, or Just being a negative person, that doesn't align with what you're sharing about Plexus. So just make sure that you are presenting consistency. Also, attend events any chance that you get. I can't even count how many local and I guess national events that I've been to. Convention in Vegas, Leaders Retreat in Dallas, but besides that, Super Saturday in Nashville, and then so many events that my local uplines have coordinated here. If it's 30 minutes from my home, an hour from my home, I will try to get to every event I can because I believe it's so important to get together with other people who have the same passions and beliefs as you. It helps us all to keep going and keep pushing on, and we can get ideas from one another, and then we can just have fun and develop those relationships. Take advantage of time with your uplines. If they're offering to do a training for you, if they are hosting a Zoom call, jump on. Number one, it's just to show your support. They are putting in so much of their time to help you succeed in this business, and just show them that you appreciate it. And number two, there's so much that you can learn from somebody who's been in this business longer than you. You just never know what tips you might pick up, and it helps you to just keep the momentum up and keep your spirits up and know that you can do this when you just share time with them of encouragement. Set goals. Without a vision, the people perish. You cannot just set out on a journey and not know where you're going and expect to get to a place you want to be in. You have to set those goals. And sometimes you got to set some stretch goals, and maybe you don't meet them every month, but that's okay. But know what you want out of this. Set those goals. Know your why, and that's going to keep you going. Also, something that you need to really think about is staying connected with your non-Plexus friends. The last thing you want to do is alienate people that you love. I'm not, some people kind of go down their friends list and just pressure their people into being on their Plexus team, and sometimes that works out great. I'm not one of those people. I don't want anybody to feel like I am being pushy. So, of course, I've mentioned it to all of my friends, and there's some of them that I'm still praying will join me. But I'm just really conscious of staying in contact with them and hanging out with them and not talking about Plexus. Just being first and foremost their friend, and then hopefully one day they'll come across and join me. But if that's not anytime soon, that's okay. I still want to be their friend. Another thing is invest in your team. Be there for people for questions. Give your team gifts. Offer training opportunities. Do whatever you can to keep a good team culture. Keep your people inspired and motivated, and just be there for them. Even outside of Plexus, know what they have going on in their life. Pray for them. And just be a friend. Care deeply about people and be vulnerable. You don't have to act like you have it all together all the time. People need to see that there are some things that are hard in this business for you too. And so I think when we really truly let our guard down and just share our ups and downs with each other, we all can become a lot closer. And it's going to help us get through this together. Watch lots of videos. I think I mentioned that earlier. There's tons of stuff out on YouTube. It's great to just learn different business tips, learn product tips, learn how to reach out to people, how to invest in your team. There's videos for reaching the next frame that you're looking to. Just about any topic that you could need to know about, there's a video out there on YouTube. So take advantage of that. A lot of times I will turn on a video, not watch it, but just kind of lay it in my seat and listen as I'm driving down the road. I think that's a great use of time when you're on the road and you can't really do anything else anyway. do personal development. That's something I started a few months in that I think has really made a difference for me. Read books. I've read Millionaire by Halftime, Rock Your Network Marketing Business, The Circle Maker. I am a little over halfway through with What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And then also I've got GoPro to Start Next. And those types of books are so great for your mindset. Some of them are really good for just learning about the industry and being able to talk about it to others. It's good for tips on growing your team, on recruiting people. There's just all kind of knowledge that can be gained from those. And I think taking the time to read those is really worthwhile. So that's the end of my list. I hope that this has been helpful for you in some way. And most of all, I just want to encourage you to keep going. I firmly believe that the only way you can fail in this business is to quit. Sometimes the struggle may be longer or harder than what you see for other people, but that's okay. Like we talked about, it's God's specific plan for you, and I know you can do this. Hope you have a great night.